Hey, guys. I'm back again. I just did a stream with control, and yes, I do have my sound turned down for a minute in the game that we're going to be looking at briefly. I don't know how long we'll be playing it, but it's sure to be hilarious. For anybody who wants a little bit of a change of pace, we're going to be playing something that's a little bit different. This game is about being a news producer. Basically, you're in charge of what goes live. There are things that will be said in here that are not for younger audiences. There are things that will be seen in here that are not for younger audiences. That's why I have the mature rating on my channel. So make sure that you are of a mature mind if you're going to come in here and watch, because this is not for children. And I would just say it's not for children. I've seen somebody playing this game before, and it's hilarious, but I have never played it myself. We're going to see how well I can do with my ADHD and see how frustrated I can get. If you want to catch the stream on YouTube, that's fine, but there's probably a better quality on the Twitch stream. And my Twitch is Amerlin026. You would probably benefit if you want to hit the notification bell if you follow. And also, if you do follow, we have the stream avatars on the Twitch stream. You can pick out your own little stream avatar and be whatever you want to be, walking around on the bottom of the screen. You can catch stars, you can jump, you can hit other people that are watching. All the kinds of fun stuff that you can do when you're not doing anything else, just watching the stream and having fun with everybody, because we're all friends here. And the people that follow, they're my dreamers. Hello, dreamers. My subscribers are my cafe lattes. I'm kidding. We're all dreamers here. We're all here to have a good time and just enjoy the wee hours of the morning. If you're like me, it is bright and early. Actually, it's dark and early. Very, very dark and early. It's 5 o'clock in the morning, everybody. Maybe some of my Aussie friends will come and show up again. That would be great. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. So without further ado, we're going to get into this not for broadcast and see how it goes. This game should be less taxing on my computer and our stream, so we shouldn't have any problems like we were having with a more intense control game. Yeah, I've been having some struggles with that one from the beginning. I've been trying to adjust things, and everybody's been very patient with me, and I am so grateful. Thank you so much for being patient, and y'all are wonderful as always. So I'm kind of glad that not very many people are here to watch me get through this. This is going to be a very silly broadcast. I'm going to check my sound really quick. You need to hear it too.
Prettier cages. Oh, Megan. We're only getting started.
Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Jones. Our main headlines tonight.
Alright, everything sounds pretty good. It looks pretty good. So why don't we get started on our first game of this?
What a wild ride!
New game. New game name. Dreamers.
Well, that's
for the heck of
very
it.
Blunt question.
Gonna do the story mode without the stress. Non-broadcast mechanics are off. Viewers are very forgiving. It sounds good to me. It's my first go, you guys.
Hi, David, I have a call for you. I'm just putting it through. All right, mate. Dave here. Listen, I know you've only come in to clean up the place, but I've got a bit caught up, so you're going to have to run the news tonight. Now, don't worry. It's not hard, and I'm going to stay on the phone and help you. First, I'm going to give you a quick tour of the broadcast room, so if you're not doing it already, look forwards towards all those screens. Right, look up at the top. That coloured bar is your audience. You want to keep the viewers going up and not down. Underneath that, you've got the screens. The one on the right is the broadcast screen. That's what the viewers are seeing at home. It's only a couple of seconds behind the master screen there in the middle. That's the one you control. Now, the four small screens on the left show the different signals coming from the studio, and you can choose between them using the numbered buttons on the vision mixer at the bottom left. Don't worry, I'll talk you through it and you'll pick it up in no time. Now, have a look to your left. These plugs control everything in the studio. I've left them set up for you, so provided you haven't fiddled with them, all you have to do now is throw the master trip switch and we're in business. Once you've got the power on, face the front again. You can see on the broadcast screen that we're in the end titles for the show before us. Fortunately, they go on for fucking ages, so there's plenty of time for me to explain. Oh, right, okay, they're over, so we haven't got long now till the broadcast. Right, quickly, mate, look down under the desk. You can see a load of videotapes on the left. They're your adverts. Pick any three.
Exercise
and
with
load them
hand
into the machines on the
sleeves.
right. When you've done that, look up to the front again.
Uh,
by award-winning documentary series The Shape of
Come
Man,
to Bumley?
which tonight looks at the history of the knee-length surf.
Okay, and My Salad Weekly?
Not one to miss.
Sure, why not?
At 9 p.m, sit back and relax with multiple award-winning movie The Freedom.
When you get the signal, select screen 1 with the vision mixer and we're ready to go.
Prawn and mayonnaise?
You know, CV makes me kind of imposter.
Yeah, thought it might increase our viewing figures.
Oh!
Every day. You offer me prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. That's how I should love.
You're trying to kill it.
And yet you persist.
Before
Going
we
5, 4.
But now, it's time to join Jeremy Donaldson for the
Good
National
evening.
Night News.
I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight.
Okay, we're all good. Next thing is going to be to throw to the news titles on screen 2. There'll be a countdown, but I'll count you in as well. Just relax, mate. It's all gravy.
Buys honest Andy's
all
totally
gravy.
independent and corners the flowered market. Top chat. Sports fans everywhere celebrate as popular footballer Johnny Hamsleys wins Sports Personality.
This is a hard one
and
to
a spoonful of sugar.
stream just because of
Megan
all the
presents
talking.
with movie star Lawrence
So we're gonna
about his new movie, The
watch it
Magnificent.
more than anything
And,
else.
Of course, we'll be going live to Advance headquarters to hear what the leaders of this fledgling party have to say on their historic.
Right. Button
That's
2
what's coming up on
in
tonight.
3,
National
2,
News.
1. Lovely, mate. Next thing is to throw back to Jeremy with button 1 when that globe in the middle shrinks down and vanishes. Here it comes. Switch to screen 1. Lovely, mate.
But first, the votes are in, and it's a decisive win for Advance. The landslide victory, with an astonishing 81% of the popular vote, is the biggest election win in living memory. Advance appealed to voters up and down the country with their bold promises of permanent change. But critics have accused him of a severe lack of actual policies and of being deliberately vague. The opposition parties have all conceded defeat to Advance's overwhelming mandate, but have yet to appear publicly. However, former Home Secretary...
Right, it's going well. All you've got to do now is play the advert at the end of the segment. Make sure you don't play it too early or we'll all get fired. Now, the clock at the top is counting you down to the advert. When it reaches 0, press one of the 3 play ad buttons over there at the bottom right. I normally play the first one at the first break and so on, but you can play them in any
10
order you want.
seconds.
I'll count you into it as well, but keep your eye on the clock.
To hear the co-leader's acceptance speech.
And
3, 2, 1.
Advert.
1 minute back, everybody. Jeremy, I need you to...
Nice.
What? Why?
Wanker Snatch is running late.
Oh,
Thought I'd ask him about the election.
personally, I wouldn't try to confuse him with any big words.
That's the same policy we use with you. I thought that was our
Didn't
little
turn off
secret.
those avatars.
Remember anything I tell you.
I'm deeply uncomfortable with your burgeoning friendship. Yeah.
Wicked. We made it to the first ad break. You're doing great, mate. But this is where it starts getting a bit trickier. This next sequence is what we call a multicam sequence, because you're going to be cutting between multiple cameras to keep things interesting. A lot of it's down to personal taste,
So you can
but
see
here's
better.
3 good rules of thumb. 1. Try and keep the shot on whoever is doing the talking. 2. Don't stay on the same shot for too long. 10 seconds at the most. So if you're on the person who's talking, try and throw in the odd reaction shot or pull out to the wide shot for a bit just to keep it interesting. 3. Don't stay on reaction shots for too long. A couple of seconds is usually enough. Then the audience want to see who's doing the talking, yeah? Stick to these rules and you'll be fine. It's not as complicated as it sounds. You've seen programmes on television, haven't you? Make it look like those. Might as well get screen 1 selected now. No need to wait for the broadcast to start. Try and stay ahead, mate.
Quiet in the studio.
Thank you so much.
10 seconds, everybody.
Okay.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later we'll be hearing from shock election winners Advance. But first
Get
off,
ready to go to
political
Megan on
reporter
screen
Megan
4.
Wolf is here with a star of both stage and screen. Megan?
Thank you, Jeremy. Megan Wolf, culture correspondent. And today I have a guest who starred in everything from Shakespeare
Right,
to
go
the
to
Shop
Blunderclatch
Box
on screen 3 when she says his
films.
name.
Today by none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, my dear, I do hope you believe me when I tell you that being with you here today is among
Switch to 2 for the wide now.
May I say, having you here with us is among ours.
Nice.
Right, now just try and stay on whoever's talking.
Latest movie, which is called The Medicated.
The medicated, yes.
Wow, what was that like?
Well, as I said to Peter at the Rat, Peter Jensen, the director,
Give us a look at Megan's reaction. Lovely. Now back to Thunder Twat.
I've worked with him on several movies, all terribly successful. I said to Peter, what a wild ride this has been. What a wild ride this has been. I really meant that.
Wow, that is fantastic. And am I right in saying that the character you play in this movie is quite an academic one?
Absolutely right. A scientist.
Was that a challenge at all?
What exactly are you implying? But seriously, yes, you're right. It was a complete departure from my last starring role when I played Sergeant Brock Rockman in Bullet Man. You'll remember that that was the true story of one soldier's fight for a love that surpasses all others. A love, of course, for freedom. I think it's grossed over $1 billion, but honestly, who's counting?
It's a role that saw you scoop 2 Best Actor awards, if I remember correctly.
It's so sweet of you to mention it, but I really am not in it for the awards, although those 3 little statues do take pride of place on my mantelpiece.
With all the others, I'm sure. So, if you're not doing it for the awards, what is it then that drives you?
That is a beautiful question, Megan, and not easy to answer. Like you, I'm afraid. Cut me, and I will bleed. And often, that's how it feels, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Bleeding, giving, suffering for one's audience.
It's an art form, isn't it?
I suppose in the end, I do it for the difference it makes. I do it for the people that I inspire. The little people. But most of all, I think I do it for the positive change that I can bring about in the world.
And today, of course, we're in for some real change, it looks like, in the coming few months. What do you make of this historic election result?
Oh, well. Well, now you're asking. Historic election result. Indeed. Historic is the word. Well, difficult, isn't it? Very difficult. But I think I've always been quite clear that when it comes to politics, one should always strive to not fuck things up.
Shit, he swore. Well, don't worry, he won't do it again.
Sorry, I said fuck.
He did it again.
Ah.
Okay, don't panic. I'll explain how to deal with swearing at the break.
Medicated opens next week
Right,
around
they've swapped the shot of Jeremy on screen 1 for a VT of the movie clip. You'll get a countdown on the screen, but I'll just let Megan cue you in.
My character, Dr. Lance Hemlock, is faced with a decision that could affect humanity's very survival.
exciting stuff. Let's take a look. Exciting stuff.
There we go.
Oh, looks like Blunderclatch is really losing it in the studio. I'd love to hear what he's saying, but we can't find out now. We'll go to the
See,
Russian
I
room
could
together
turn
once
it
the
on
broadcast's
so that
over.
everybody can see it. Look at her face. She's like,
I don't know that?
No, Lance, we mustn't.
Dr. Lance to you, Miss Flanagan.
it's like one of these times I just want to let the public hear everything.
All for you.
Dr. Hemlock.
We're gonna change the world, you know?
What do you think so far?
Dr. Hemlock.
You told me, but I didn't listen.
Doctor,
I'm drowning, Lance, you said.
you need to see this.
No, it's all too late.
Look at this!
The virus. The sterility. This formula. This is the key.
We could stop it all.
Yes, we could stop it all. We have to ask ourselves.
At the end of the clip, you'll want to play another ad. Remember to use the clock at the top to count you in.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Right, I guess I better explain how to deal with bleeping out swear words. As you've probably noticed, the broadcast screen, here, is about 2 seconds behind the master screen, here. When someone says a naughty word, the bleep button lights up, like this. 2 seconds later, you'll hear that swear word going out on the broadcast, and you need to hold down the bleep button or the spacebar on your keyboard for as long as
spacebar
the
will
swear
work.
word lasts. It can take a bit of practice getting used to hearing 2 things at once.
Yep.
Just stay calm and you'll get it. And if you can't tell when to bleep, just above the button, you'll literally
Using
be
my
able to see
spacebar
the
instead
sound
would be
scrolling
great.
by. All you gotta do is hold it down while the red bit is over the red line.
Probably should
Simple.
start
Of
using
course,
my
if you do it by
number
eye,
keys.
you'll have to take your eye off the screens. That's why real professionals do it by ear.
I have
Most people
buttons
like to have
on
the
my
volume of the broadcast
mouse.
screen a
Maybe
little
they'll
bit
work
below
instead of
the
having to
master
actually
screen. Let's
go over
set
here
it
and click
now.
on them. Wait, what did he want me to do?
Mate, if you don't turn up the broadcast volume, you won't be able to time your bleeps. Good. You're set to start censoring.
Oops.
Like I say, it takes a little practice, but I'll try and help you through it, and soon we'll have you bleeping like a pro. Remember, button lights up, count 1, 2, and hold it down. Remember to select screen 1 now that you've got the feed. Don't wait for the broadcast to go live. That's too
Gotcha.
late. You can use the number buttons on your keyboard, 1 to 4.
Country. Seriously?
We've had worse.
Okay,
5,
yeah, they do work.
4, 3.
Welcome back. And I'm told we can now go live to Advanced Headquarters, where the 2 leaders, Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury, are about to make their acceptance address.
Oh god, this is gonna be
Cut
funny.
to the outside broadcast.
Go for it, Pat.
Get ready to bleep.
Well, thank you all for coming, and, well, where do I start? What a day.
They said we couldn't do it.
They certainly did.
They used every dirty, low-down, lying southern bastard trick they had against us. But you, the people,
Nice.
you saw right through
I
them.
hit it too fast.
I'm sorry about the language there.
Sorry about that. I've had a
You
couple of
totally missed that.
celebratory pints. Makes me coarser than a grin is funny. Coarser than a grin
Memorably
is...
put.
Perfect.
Look, to be honest, who can blame Peter for celebrating? Throughout the campaign, you've heard us say that Advance are not a political party. A party is what you have when things are going well.
Been on that
When
ship
the
a bit
country
long
is
now.
suffering, you don't need a party. You need a team. A team that can change things. But today is day one of a new future. A better, fairer future.
Okay.
So perhaps we should all be celebrating.
Except for the rich. For them, the party's over. They shouldn't be celebrating.
Maybe I
They
should
be
just
putting
click
their
it.
shitting pants on and opening their dusty checkbooks.
Ooh.
Again, colourfully put, but not inaccurate. Before we came out here to address executive powers to pass the Assets and Wealth Act,
I didn't mean to do
working
that.
with the tax office, we have produced a definitive list of every person in the country with wealth into the millions.
You know this sort of... Probably you rather you don't. Because the likes of you and me are not welcome in their gated communities.
Tomorrow we will be introducing a sweeping reform of the tax system in this country. No more hiding wealth offshore.
He is
no
so
more
drunk.
Trust funds or creative accounting. A simpler, fairer, unavoidable set of tax laws.
So, all you bastard public school snobs have got nowhere to hide. Earlier today, we revoked your passports. You want them back? You want to leave like you threatened before the election? That's fine. First, you're going to pay up. You're going to pay back.
Advance are going to turn this country from a nation of warring individuals into a team. To properly fund health and education. To raise the living standards of
This
us
is gonna
all.
press my ADHD to the
Said
max.
we'd have to raise billions. But you'll see when we've reclaimed what's ours, that's absolute
Look at them.
shite.
Just
So to you posh twats,
The people who pay you a pittance to serve them drinks in their private clubs. The people whose children you raise.
so they've got time to get even fucking richer.
Advance have this to say to you.
It ends today.
We are coming for your sports cars and your mansions and your vineyards.
It ends today.
We will put the wealth of this country back where it should have always been. In the hands of the people who created it.
It ends today.
Yes, it ends today. And tomorrow, we'll start making it fair again. Just like we promised we would.
And until then, ladies and gents, I suggest we all get pissed.
I can't argue with that. Thank you for your time.
Well, an interesting acceptance speech there from and our apologies for the fruity language. Hopefully we got that bleeped out for you in time. If not, someone's going to be in trouble. So, as the country braces itself for new government, that's all from us this evening at the National Nightly News.
got another
We'll be back
commercial.
tomorrow with full coverage of the first day under Advance. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful night.
Right, looks like you've got it now.
we're out.
Thanks for all
Good
the help,
job,
mate.
everybody.
I've got to
Send
go.
us tomorrow.
Ferry's about to leave.
On
Probably
board.
won't be coming back. Job's yours, mate. Good luck.
Same old boring politics
You
then.
do.
This is some weird fever dream. Am I
That's
dying
crazy.
now?
You should be so lucky. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Not coming for a drink?
No, got a date.
Lucky you. Try not to get murdered.
I can't watch that many at one time. That's
We'll have
insane.
salad that really gets the lunchroom talking.
Continue. Oh, A plus, A plus, A plus, A plus. You have received a generous bonus. Current wealth broke as 4.
Alright, mate. Welcome to the archive. This is where you can have a quick look back at what you've done and how it looked to the public. There's 3 sections: broadcast, rushes and adverts. Let's start with broadcast. Click on it now. Over on the left, that's all the broadcasts that you've done. Click on any one of them and hit load tape. Once it's finished loading, you can use the rewind and the fast forward at the bottom there to help you get to the bit you
In
want
a
to
few
see.
moments, we'll be going live to tonight's National Nightly News. But before that, let's take a look at what's coming up later on tonight on Channel 1. At 7 o'clock, it's the semi-final of...
Quotation game, and it's a now-biting quiz tonight as a team of nuclear physicists take on 4 old ladies from East Grinching. That's one.
Yeah.
Moving on up, the election win that...
Blah, 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 blah.
Boss, sporting legend Johnny Hamsleeves. I'm not fat, but you are. Don't worry, ladies. Now you can have me, Johnny Hamsleeve, right there in your lounge.
Johnny!
Match day, happy day. Me and the lads are playing away. I'll take you through a proper match day workout with my two cracking assistants. Who knows, within a few weeks, you could be as fit as them.
Okay.
In the coach cruising down the motorway. Match day, Saturday.
The nosy photographer.
Handshakes and we're ready to play. Did you know that fat people are less likely to laugh, marry or live past the age of 26? These potentially true statistics are all terrifying reasons why you should pop a bit of Johnny in your VHS slot. Getting me a penalty. Goal, in the goal. You gotta get it in the goal. Kick the... Every exercise is recommended by sports professionals and is 72% likely to get rid of those tricky tummies and cruel cellulite. Match time, halfway line, waiting for the whistle.
Worth watching the commercial.
Johnny Hamsleeve. Teams on time. Hair dryer treatment.
I cut it off quickly.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News.
Everything from Shakespeare.
Oh wait, here's my handiwork.
Megan?
Thank you, Jeremy. Megan Wolfe, culture correspondent. And today I have a guest who starred in everything from Shakespeare to the Shotbot films. I'm very excited to be joined today by none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, my dear. I do hope you believe me when I tell you that being with you here today is among the greatest joys of my life.
May I say, having you here with us is among ours.
Bless you.
So you've just finished filming your latest movie, which is called The Medicated.
The Medicated, yes.
Wow, what was that like?
Well, as I said to Peter at the Wrap, that's Peter Jensen, the director. Do you know him? He's a wonderful chap, he really is. I've worked with him on several movies, all terribly successful.
I think I did
I said to Peter, what a wild ride this has been. And do you know what, Megan? I really meant that.
Wow, that is fantastic. And am I right in saying that the character you play in this movie is quite an academic one?
Absolutely right. A scientist.
Was that a challenge at all?
What exactly are you implying? But seriously, yes, you're right. It was a complete departure from my last starring role when I played Sergeant Brock Rockman in Bullet
It's a
Man.
little bit of a strange
You'll remember
one,
that
and
that was the true story of one soldier's fight for a love that surpasses all others. A love, of course, for freedom. I think it's grossed over $1 billion, but honestly, who's counting?
It's a role that saw you scoop 2 Best Actor awards, if I remember correctly.
It's so sweet of you to mention it, but I really am not in it for the awards, although those 3 little statues do take pride of place on my mantelpiece.
With all the others, I'm sure. So, if you're not doing it for the awards, what is it then that drives you?
Oh, all right. Not too bad, not too bad. Yeah, we saw all of that.
And fine dining. Well, we're not sure, but here in St Bumley on the Taint, we've got a big hill and the bus comes twice daily. Visit picturesque St Bumley this summer and experience a holiday that's simply unlike any other.
That does not look appealing.
Come and visit the abandoned Spade factory. Your kids will love exploring the old production line in relative safety. Grab your tetanus shots and come down today. There's no gift shop, but feel free to grab an old handle from the skip out the back. Or why not indulge your cultured side and visit some of...
Oh my god, no. That stuff, oh god, here we go.
Shall I start?
Go for it, Pet.
Okay. Well, thank you all for coming, and, well, where do I start? What a day.
They said we couldn't do it.
They certainly did.
They used every dirty, low-down, lying trick they had against us, but you, the people, you saw right through their shite.
I'm sorry about the language there.
Sorry about that. I've had a couple of celebratory pints. Makes me coarser than a granny's
Memorably put. But to be honest, who can blame Peter for celebrating?
Wow.
Throughout the campaign, you've heard us say that Advance are not a political party. A party's what you have when things are going well. When the country is suffering, you don't need a party. You need
I could have done better with this one.
A team that can change things. But today is day one of a new future. A better, fairer future. So perhaps we should all be celebrating.
Except for the rich. For them, the party's over. They shouldn't be celebrating. They should be putting pants on and opening their dusty checkbooks.
Again, colourfully put, but not inaccurate. Before we came out here to address the nation, we used executive powers to pass the Assets and Wealth Act.
That was that accidental.
Working with the tax office, we have produced a definitive list of every person in the country with wealth into the millions.
You know the sort. Probably you rather you don't. Because the likes of you and me are not welcome in their gated communities.
Tomorrow, we will be introducing a sweeping reform of the tax system in this country. No more hiding wealth offshore, no more trust funds or creative accounting. A simpler, fairer, unavoidable set of tax laws.
So, all you public school snobs have got nowhere to hide. And earlier today, we revoked your passports. You want them back? You want to leave like you threatened before the election? That's fine. But first, you're going to pay up. You're going to pay back.
Advance are going to turn this country from a nation of warring individuals into a team. To properly fund health and education. To raise the living standards of us all.
The pundits said we'd have to raise billions. But you'll see when we've reclaimed what's ours, that's absolute ferret. So to you posh
people who pay you a pittance to serve them drinks in their private clubs, the people whose children you raise.
So they've got time to get even richer.
Advance have this to say to you.
It ends today.
Okay.
Right, click on rushes and let's have a look at those. Right, this is the rushes room. It's pretty simple. The 4 screens you can see, they're going to show you the 4 signals you got from the studio during the actual broadcast. Difference is you can mute any combination of them, so you can have a listen to the stuff you weren't allowed to show. Select the broadcast and give it a go. And when you're done listening to the backstage secrets, hit back.
Neat. Okay. The interview would have been an interesting one. The headlines, maybe? Let's look at this first. Wait, this one? Oh, I have to hit play. They won the election, play.
Prawn and mayonnaise?
You know seafood makes me go out in pustules.
Yeah, I thought it might increase our viewing figures.
Every day. You offer me prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. That's how I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
And yet you persist, going 5, 4.
Yeah, we don't have to hear all of that.
Yeah, Megan's pretty pissed off too.
I'm not surprised. The bloke was... Seriously, that blonder clutch on election night?
Yeah, Megan's pretty pissed off too.
I'm not surprised. The bloke with no democracy, he's shutting his cornflakes.
Yeah, but he's hot though.
I suppose so, into oxygen thieves.
10 seconds, everybody. Your fragility is leaking. Going in 5, 4.
Wow. See all the stuff that could have gotten broadcast by accident. It's pretty interesting. Peeking behind the curtain, I got an achievement.
Jeremy, I need you to fill after the ads.
What? Why?
Wanker Snatch is running late.
Oh.
I thought I'd ask him about the election.
Personally, I wouldn't try to confuse him with any big words.
That's the same policy we use with you.
I thought that was our little secret.
It's all right, he doesn't remember anything I tell him.
I'm deeply uncomfortable with your burgeoning friendship.
Love you too.
Yeah.
Did we run out? Okay, here, the interview. That one's going to be an interesting one.
These aren't my cards. Please tell me these aren't my cards.
No, they're the right ones, apparently.
But this gives me nothing, Jenny. They must see that.
I know. I think they think he won't have anything to say.
Oh, for God's sake, come on. It's a huge day. He's not an...
Absolute bonehead.
Oh.
I don't care, Rob. I'm not doing it. I agreed to do one beastly interview a day. I made that completely clear when we started. Check my contract.
Hi, I'm Megan.
Oh, piss off. You're on thin bloody ice, Rob. Whole wheat, man. Whole wheat.
We're coming back from the break.
He's a little
Quiet
something,
in the
isn't he?
studio.
I knew it.
Thank you so much.
10 seconds, everybody. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later we'll be hearing from shock election winners Advance, but first our very own culture reporter.
Wow. Wow. I bet you people really do have to deal with that kind of stuff sometimes when they're working like live television in the background. You don't see all that. People don't always get along, but they have to do it for the job, you know?
Get the car. We're out of here.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Exciting stuff. Let's take a look.
And we're out.
Rob, get the car. We're out of here.
Mr. Blunderclatch.
No! I'm shutting this down. What kind of operation are you people running?
Mr. Blunderclatch, I understand you're upset, but we can...
Upset? You don't know the half of it. Rob! I'll be at the Dorset. Send up a bottle of scotch and a whole ham. It's in my contract.
That's enough to make anybody hate their job.
I'm sorry. I just had to. I had to. Oh, go on then. Say it.
What?
I told you so.
Your hair looked nice.
See, this is why you're single.
Okay. Advanced acceptance. I don't know what would be on that one. I guess we can look at it real quick.
Apparently he's been drinking since lunchtime.
Christ, he's a liability in the best of times.
I know. God help whoever has to bleep this. 10 seconds, everybody.
I mean, a lawyer and a TV personality running the country. Seriously?
We've had worse. 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. I'm told we can now go live to Advance headquarters where the two leaders, Salisbury, are about to make their acceptance address.
Shall I start?
Go for it, Pet.
Okay, let's see what they
Yeah, I
have to
don't
say.
think that they say anything
Hit the
really.
source this one.
I like that I can go back and actually see what was said.
Teal.
I don't have to pay so much attention to that as it's happening, and I could just get the story right. Yeah.
Oh, not much.
Team spirit. Wow.
Swearing.
Except for the rich, and then the party's over. They shouldn't be celebrating. They should be putting their shit in pants on and up in their dusty checkbook.
Yeah, they don't really say anything.
Running casual personalities.
I think we can go into a new one. I could look at the adverts, see, but we already looked at them, so. We're just going to go to the next day. Day 2. Let's see how we do. Oh. Day 3, an unexpected form. You arrive home to find post on the mat. Most being nothing more than the usual junk mail. One letter, however, catches your eye. The team want to know you. They want to know me. Curiosity gets the better of you, and you open it. It's a form from the new advanced government asking for information on all citizens. The first page is filled in already. Your name, Alex Winston, your spouse, Sam Winston, your children, Charles Winston, 14, and Susie Winston, 19. Well, you muse. At least they got the basics right. The rest of the questions are left for you to complete. They appear to be mandatory. Question 1. Upon starting a new job, you would be friendly, introduce yourself to your new co-workers, be productive and get to work immediately, ease yourself in and orientate to yourself with the new workplace, reminisce about friends, about old jobs. Probably ease myself in and orientate myself with the new workplace. A colleague in a different department has confided in you that they've been taking home confidential information. Now, a file of minor importance has gone missing. You would help your colleague cover up their violation, recommend that your colleague reports it, promise your colleague that you won't tell anyone, or report the violation to your supervisor immediately. I think that the colleague should report it. An entire department was fired today for consistent underperformance. Your boss has put in place new targets that are significantly higher than the previous ones. You would leave work on time, stay late to ensure you hit the first deadline, leave work early and head to the pub to chat about the changes with colleagues, leave work early and head home to see your family. I would absolutely probably stay late to do it. It's the annual company barbecue, and you and your family have been invited. You are looking forward to enjoying a nice day out with friends and family, are washing your hair that day. Go if you're free, but wouldn't mind missing it. Have been practicing with your coworkers and think you'll win the talent contest this year. You know what's weird is that this is some strange survey questions that they have in this letter. I picked the first one. You've had a long, successful career and are now about to retire. In your speech, you list your achievements and all the good memories you had working there, give an honest review of the pros and cons of the company, focus on issues and challenges you faced while working there, I'll refuse to attend, list my achievements. In your spare time, you like to relax alone, doing things like listening to music or making models. Attend political rallies, stand up for what you believe in, encourage and support your children with their hobbies. Play your local sports team. We'll do number 1 again. Your ideal holiday getaway would be surrounded by natural beauty, getting away from the strain of the daily grind, exploring somewhere unfamiliar and discovering new experiences and challenges. A structured day out at a theme park bursting with thrills and attractions for you and your family, or a romantic getaway with your partner to a tropical island paradise. Well, I've not done that. I mean, not on a tropical island. Probably number 1 again. It is most important that the government keeps people safe, free, happy, or equal. That's a hard one, isn't it? say equal for now. Signed my name. Thank you for your cooperation. Bringing the nation a brighter future. They're all good answers. It's late. This is day 6 of Family Matter. Sam and the kids have gone to bed. You're just drying up a favorite coffee cup, a worn-out souvenir of your first trip together. The print's faded, but the goofy face still makes you smile. A knock at the window brings you back to reality. There in the garden, clutching a gaudy, neon green suitcase, is Chris, Sam's sibling. As soon as you let them in, they sit at the kitchen table, visibly stressed. Chris takes a deep breath. "I'm so sorry for bursting in so late, Alex," Chris stammers. "But I need a favor, and you're the only one I can ask." "No problem. What's going on? Are you okay? Should I go get Sam?" No need to worry, Sam. It's you I came to see. I just need 2 minutes. You've heard about the Assets and Wealth Act? I work in the news." Chris's fist bangs on the table. "It's total BS. They're taking whatever they want and distributing it as they see fit. No government should have that kind of power. I can't believe they're actually getting away with it. Madness. Which is why I need your help." What is it that you actually need from me?" Chris's eyes seem to be resting comfortably on the floor tiles. "Look, I know it's a lot to ask, but I need to borrow your passport." "A passport? I can't give you that. That's illegal. They take in mine in half the bloody countries, but people always say you and I look similar, so..." Chris is pacing now. "I need to leave before it's too late. Once I'm out, me and my money will be safe. But I need to go now before they freeze my accounts. Please, Alex. I wouldn't ask if I had any other choice." I'll go get it then, I guess. I don't really want to." You climb the stairs to your bedroom, careful not to wake Sam, who is cocooned in the duvet as usual. You open the wardrobe, unlock the safe, and retrieve the passport. A sleepy voice breaks the silence. "Alex, what's going on?" "Nothing, sweetheart. Don't worry about it. Go back to sleep. Chris is downstairs. They're leaving the country, and they need my passport to do it." Sam sits bolt upright now, all thoughts of sleep gone. "What? They're leaving the country? Are things really that bad?" "Apparently, but they'll be fine if they can leave. Chris can take my passport and get out." "According to Chris, I'm not so sure. I don't know if I really want to give up my passport." "I'm not so sure. I don't know if I really want to give up my passport." This must be tearing Sam apart. Their family has always been close. "You know what I would do," Sam says finally, "but it's not my passport. I can't ask you to give it up." "You're right. I'll do it. Family comes first. I'll be back up in a minute." Yeah. You close the safe and head back downstairs to find Chris at the table fidgeting. They jump up as soon as you re-enter the kitchen. "So, have you got it?" "Here. Good luck with everything." For the first time, Chris smiles. It's infectious. "Thanks. I really do appreciate this. I'll get back in touch once I'm safely out of the country." Chris takes the passport and, breathing a sigh of relief, grabs the neon fluorescent suitcase and heads out into the night. You head to bed hoping you can pry some of the duvet away from Sam without waking them. Interesting. Day 8, the fallout. Oh boy.
Hey, it's Dave. Oh, Christ, it's noisy in here, Jesus. Thanks, darling. Yeah, I'll take that one with me. Cheers. Right. Oh, that's better. Let's get set up and get on with it, so I can get back to my guests. First of all, let's get the power on. You need to get at least the bottom 4 plugs on. Right, let's load up the adverts. You might want to have a bit of a think about it. Your decisions have consequences, don't they?
Go-Getters Teen Team. An Elliot new skin cream with a porky little twist. Ellen James is coming soon to a medium-sized hall near you. Crazy Neil's Festive Yuletide Ornament Spectacular. And Mr. Snuggle Chugs. No, okay, okay, we'll do this one. We'll do this one. And we'll... we'll do this one, I guess.
Right, you can see they finally got the old headline system up and working again, and the vision mixer's already in headline mode because headlines always come at the start. It's really simple, mate. These 2 buttons at the bottom of the vision mixer, you can see they now have A and B on them, and they're to help you pick image A on the left bottom screen here, or image B on the right bottom screen here. It's really simple. This little clock here will count down the number of seconds you have to make your decision. Provided you make a decision in that time, you're fine. And you can change your mind as much as you want until the clock reaches 0. But if you don't make any decision, you'll be fired before you even get to make another choice. I just want to say one more thing, mate. The pictures you choose to show of these people, well, that's how the public is going to perceive them, and that's going to affect their lives. So, like with the adverts, choose carefully.
No,
And we're off. Good luck, mate. If I get time, I'll call you back in the next break.
Alright, we'll try it.
My friend Janet says theirs gets really hot.
Is this Janet who thinks dogs have their own secret language?
Yeah, the one that mistrusts the moon. 10 seconds, everybody!
Not the best source of consumer advice, then?
Don't blame me when it explodes. Going in 5,
But before all
4,
that,
3.
it's time to go over to Jeremy Donaldson for tonight's National Night.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main headlines tonight. Destination unknown. At the end of Advance's first full week in office, we ask exactly who's leading this charge. Tonight, I'll be discussing what the new future might hold with a leading economist and radical free thinker. With the Assets and Wealth Act on the brink of raising living standards for the vast majority of the country, I'll be asking my guests if we're on the way to a new future. Out with the old, Remington's Fist have appointed Sophia Remington as their new CEO. The following photo, taken from our
Gotta be kind
archive,
about this.
gives us a sense of this influential young firebrand who, at the tender age of 23, becomes the youngest female CEO in history. Sophia Remington has always impressed. She was top of her class at university and graduated with the highest honours, immediately being asked back to lecture. The markets have responded favourably to Sophia's appointment, with stocks rising 30 points in light of the announcement. In her first press conference this afternoon, Sophia announced a children's toy named Mr. Snugglehouse. Sophia promises it will be all the rage this Christmas, but concerns have been raised about the product's safety. Making a splash. Intrepid scientist Dr. David Wong and marine biologist Ingrid Swarsborg-Horgensford have today set off to explore Dante's Taint. The recently discovered cave system was previously thought unreachable, but thanks to a new breakthrough in underwater
They're talking
flower
about the
technology,
commercials
the pair hope to
that
successfully
I
reach
picked.
the imposing central cavern and the undiscovered plant species it contains. This is, of course, only the latest in a series of successful expeditions for this unlikely pairing. In a joint statement about the dangers their team might face, the pair stated, "We will face the plentiful challenges together like we always have." Playing the field, rumours abound as sporting legend Johnny Hamsleeves is snapped leaving Bush, one of the capital's hottest clubs.
Could you imagine?
The footballer was caught while out celebrating being named Sports Personality of the Year last week, as reported
Way too
by
kind
this
to
very
these
program.
people.
Johnny is seen here with socialite and performance artiste Tiffany Lamore, whose recent show, Snatched Inside My Snatch, has kept her firmly in the public eye. Could romance be on the cards for these two budding A-listers? and grievous bodily charm. With Advance promising a radical new position on crime, how afraid should we actually be? I'll be going live around the country to talk with people who've seen the criminal justice system from every perspective. With more and more powers passing to the police and less oversight, are we using an Advance-shaped sledgehammer to crack a nut? All that and Megan Wolf with a group of young actors already experiencing the positive side of the new Assets and Wealth Act firsthand. They'll be talking and performing later. That's all coming up on tonight's
3,
National Night
2,
News.
1. Got another guess.
In the wake of the government's swift enactment of the Assets and Wealth Act, we're talking about Advance's first week in office and what the new future holds. Joining me are Katie Brightman, a leading economist, and Alan James, author of Alan James is Right, The Free Man's Guide to Waking Up. Alan, the government certainly haven't dragged their heels on delivering some of the legislation they promised. But what does the Wealth Act mean for us?
Nothing, Jeremy. We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
A confident dismissal there. Katie Brightman, do you agree?
I'm afraid I don't, no. I think that Advance have realised that the current economic system of unlimited, unending growth is untenable, so they're changing things up.
There I agree with you. They're moving to the next steps in the grand plan.
Grand plan, Alan?
It's all in my book. Alan James is right, Jeremy. We're to become the great herd. Ignorant, sterile, and short-lived. That's what they want.
Or perhaps Advance have just realised that if we carry on the way we are, we will destroy ourselves and this planet in a mad orgy of consumption, if you'll excuse the colourful metaphor.
Yes, orgy is the right word. Only it'll be the overlords having an orgy on our poor broken backs. It's all in my book. Alan James is...
Shamelessly self-promoting? Katie, how do you think the rest of the world will respond to this new approach?
I think they're watching carefully. Advance are the most disruptive threat that the world powers have faced since the last Great War.
Yes, Katie's right. War is inevitable.
Thank you.
And this will not be a war like we've ever seen before. We're talking millions of deaths. We're talking high-tech weapons that can level entire cities. We're talking...
Out of the wrong orifices?
Mock me all you like, Jeremy, but when they murder your parents and they poison your food and they take you away to their camps for hypno-brainwashing, we'll be laughing then.
That might be a great way to sell books, Alan, but you know full well that isn't going to happen in a democracy.
Democracy is dead.
Yes, Advance are radical, and change is always frightening, but the truth is that the Wealth and Assets Act has made more than 90% of the population wealthier and is on target to produce a permanent end to poverty.
Bollocks! What this young lady doesn't understand, Jeremy, is that these are the same people.
Nice.
Maybe they've rebranded, but it's all a little circus act to keep us from seeing the tyrant behind the curtain.
That's where you're wrong, Alan. For a start, they've mobilised the youth vote like we've never seen before.
You say mobilise, I call it grooming. The grooming of an entire generation to walk happily into eternal bondage. They're like psychic paedophiles.
But based on the facts, Katie, what are your predictions?
The Assets and Wealth Act is only the first step. Advance now have a historic budgetary surplus, and as well as properly funding our public services, they're already funneling unprecedented amounts into scientific research and the arts.
Or, as I call them in my book, Frankenscience and opiates. Like opiates, see?
Can we get back to the issue at hand, please, Alan?
This is the issue. It's all coming from the water, the chemicals. They're pumping it full of belief juice.
Don't get me wrong. I want to see these changes, but only if they're sustainable. If Advance lose their power after spending half of our GDP on dismantling infrastructure, that could be catastrophic.
The catastrophe is that they're succeeding. They've got us sat here talking about their puppet show.
All right, we're running out of time. Quickly, Alan, what does the future look like to you?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission.
Of course. Katie?
We might be on the eve of a brave new world. God knows we need some change, but we need to be cautious. Let's walk forwards with our eyes open.
Two very different visions of the future there. Alan James, Katie Brightman, thank you for joining me. When we come back, I'll be investigating
going on a commercial break
before Megan meets some beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act. That's all coming up tonight on the National Nightly News.
1 minute back.
You know, I think they might do some good.
goodness.
I hope so too.
Absolutely fucking fine, I tell you. How's it going, actually? Fuck it, I don't care. I hate the fucking news. Oh, bloody hell, I love this tune, though. All right, mate, see you later, bye.
Wow, I didn't know I was still on the phone with that
I don't know
guy.
what she meant by that.
Informed of all the ups and downs to help make things even better. With a vast range of activities available, building the nation's future.
Segment grade A plus. 3, 2, 1.
I'm just saying I'll do what I can.
Oh shit, you will. She's good. You know she is.
I've said a bit of wording, that's all I can do.
10 seconds, everybody.
I'm enjoying it.
If that sticks,
Bring
I'll
in
destroy
5,
you.
4, 3.
Welcome back. In our second segment,
Oh god, this
we're
is
going
going
to
to be
taking a deep
hilarious.
dive into
Oh
the state
no.
of law and order in our country. Advance have already tasked what they are calling a solutions team to move this serious social problem to the top of the list. Tonight, we go behind the headlines to meet the people who live with the criminal justice system every day of their lives. First up, we have Gregory Judge, a lawyer who sees the problems close up on the front line. Can you hear me, Gregory?
Yes, I've got you, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
What's it like on the front line of the hard face of the cold hand of justice?
Well, as you can imagine, Jeremy, we are massively understaffed in this country. We're working every hour we can just to try and cope with the caseloads on our desks.
Which must affect the quality of support you can offer.
Well, we can barely keep up with demand, Jeremy. There just simply isn't enough being done at a systemic level to relieve the problem. We need more support from ministers. We need more support from ministers. What are you doing? We need change at a structural level,
I'm
Jeremy.
leaving, Greg.
Not a good time, darling.
It never is it? I'll be at my mother's.
Just hang on. Oh, the problem isn't a local one, Jeremy. It's nationwide. Just give me 5 minutes. I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson.
Oh, have you mentioned your affairs?
No. Well,
Oh
the
god.
affairs of the Justice Department that we should be concerned about.
Hello, Mr. Donaldson.
Hello, Mrs. Judge.
We need legislation to relieve the pressure on our public
Sorry
servants.
to interrupt the news, Mr. Donaldson. Can I have a moment to tell my husband I'm leaving him?
Yes, I totally understand. Quite the picture of a burdened legal sector there. Gregory Judge, thank you for joining us. Next, I'm joined by Police Chief Constable Bob Peel, a man with a very different perspective on our nation's crime. Do you think there's a problem with the system, Bob?
I'm sure we all do, Jeremy. I am sure we all long for a return to the days when you could safely walk the streets of your community at night, looking in through windows and generally enjoying your neighbours without the risk of being terrorised by
It
some
must be
thug with a
crazy
knife.
having to
Or kosh.
So you feel the streets simply aren't safe
deal with
anymore?
personal
Where have we
business
gone
like
wrong,
that
Bob?
when it's live.
Well, that's not a simple question, Jeremy, but I think it all comes down to moral decay. We've diluted our culture and lost touch with what it means to be a citizen of this once great country. Also, as the vicar noted in Sunday's sermon, we probably shouldn't have banned hanging.
And to what do you attribute this moral decay?
Foreigners, gays and gypsies mainly. It's all in the Bible. Look, Leviticus clearly states...
Oh, God.
Oh, bugger, hang on a moment. Jeremy, your bloody gimps escaped. Delia? Delia, could you give me a little help, please, dear? Delia, could you give me a little help, please, dear? As I was saying, Jesus didn't like immigrants much, did he?
And just to be clear, you think it's the immigrants who are responsible for the moral decay?
Absolutely, Jeremy. Back in your box, Clive. Back in your box. Delia, I really could use a little help with this.
Oh, sorry, darling. I was spaying the badgers.
Yes, I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson. Clive, could you put him back in his box?
Oh, Clive, you know it's Wednesday. You've got plenty of space.
And whose responsibility is it to make a change, Bob?
Well, it is certainly not the responsibility of the decent, good, white people of this...
Where's the paddle?
Oh, hold on just a moment.
Oh, Clive, this simply won't do. Naughty.
Clive, I am not having this again. As I was saying, Jeremy, moral decay. Crime is the responsibility of the criminal, no one else. Look, everyone has a sob story, but we don't all end up as barbarians, do we? Look, when our daughter Alice comes home with an A-, does she go on a killing spree? No, she takes 3 of her pills and hides under the stairs like a normal child.
Thank you, Bob. Bob Peel there, really locking down the police's position on morality for us.
Oh
And
my
finally
God.
tonight, hopefully uninterrupted, it's time to get to the heart of the matter.
Oh
Tony
no.
Dawson has recently been released from prison after serving 3 years for aggravated assault.
I think I did okay
and
with
menacing
that.
swap. He's agreed to talk to us today, which is also, I believe, his birthday. Many happy returns, Tony.
Cheers, Jez. Call me Titwank Tony. Everybody else does.
No, I'm not going to be doing that. Can you tell us what it's like in prison, Tony?
Titwank Tony. Prison's a mixed bag. Structure's quite nice, but it's a constant battle against institutionalization, as you can imagine. And obviously, titwanks are quite hard to come by.
I'm picking up that you're not alone there, Tony.
Titwank Tony. Yeah, sorry, my friends are throwing me a surprise party. Good bunch of lads.
Okay, well, we're trying to get back to that party as soon as possible. First, let me ask you this. Do you feel that your time spent in prison helped to rehabilitate you in any way, Tony?
Titwank Tony. I don't think it's as easy as that, Jez. Yeah, I think asking that is an oversimplification.
It sounds like it's getting quite busy there, Tony, but let's try and soldier on. Since leaving custody, have you been able to find a new job?
Yeah, all the boys are here. Big Chris, Little Chris, and Vampire Chris.
Oops. I missed that stuff.
This one's, yeah?
I was a little
One sec, love.
distracted.
Titwank Tony's on the news. Rehabilitation's difficult with the current system, Jez. It's just not set up for it, you know? It's inherently unjust.
So, do you feel tempted to... I'm sorry, who's this now?
You are joking. Chrissy Freebollocks has only got Mr. Fancy, oh. Not now, fellas, I'm on the news.
It seems like we've caught you at a bad time.
I can't really hear you, mate. It's getting a bit busy here.
Yes, we seem to be losing the signal here, Tony.
Fucking way, Las Bolitas!
Well, we're just trying to get that signal back. I think we... Yes, Tony? Tony, I mean, we were literally away for 2 seconds. How has this happened, Tony? Can you hear me? Well, we seem to have lost our train of thought there a little. Hopefully you, the viewer at home, have managed to glean a broader understanding of the serious and complex issues around law and order. After the break, Megan will be live with some plucky young thespians. Don't go away. We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back, everybody. That went well.
Piss off.
Smooth, incisive journalism.
Hang on, I'm quite drunk. It's been a great night. In this next section, there's a bit of music.
Oh my God.
If you edit in time with the music, you can see the result on the vision mixer, and the public will love that. Don't worry if you don't, though. You won't get punished for it or nothing. Just try and stay in the groove. Also, one last tip. When the music starts, turn down the broadcast volume. Right, enjoy the music bit. God, I love music. God, I'm so pissed. I think I might go and throw up in a bit.
Sure, so as well.
Come on, it's front and back. How hard can it be?
This is on you. 10 seconds, everybody. We're going to open on Megan. Camera 2. Going in 5, 4, 3.
All right.
Welcome's Black, I'm Megan Wolf, and on tonight's Culture Spot, I'll be chatting with one of the first beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act, a team of inspiring young people from Scritchford Sixth Form College, who today received a grant from Advance to take their play, Hey,
Oh,
Friendship,
yeah.
on a tour of local secondary schools. Welcome to you all. Well, let's start with you two, Harriet and Charlotte Winstanley-Hamilton. Girls, you must be thrilled.
We are, Megan. We're overwhelmed, to be honest.
And I believe you two are sisters, is that right?
Yes, Charlotte's my oldest. I'm the older, more popular one. I'm joking.
Harriet and Trey were really the ones who came up with the whole idea.
So, Harry and I were shooting the breeze in the cafeteria, and I said, hey, let's actually do something.
So I went to look for a drama teacher.
But she'd been laid off due to budget cuts. Fortunately, I directed a pantomime when I was at university, so I knew the ropes, as it were.
Oh, right, yes, but you're the maths teacher, aren't you?
Yes, that's me, Jeff Algebra, maths teacher.
Maths is really important.
Oh, thanks, Steve.
Maths is
really important. Yeah, thanks, Steve.
As is theatre. It's one of the oldest art forms in history. Aristotle
I
believed.
just think that when we travel around all these problem schools and the poor kids see us, they say, hey, I really want to be like those attractive kids. And that's a very beautiful and powerful thing. We touch our audiences and they touch us right back.
I suppose with a surname like Algebra, there was really only one choice of career for me. My wife, Angela, and I, we often laugh about it.
Angela Algebra.
Yes.
We just want to bring a bit of song and joy into people's lives.
And teach people about the difficult issues. The issues in the play are what really matter.
And I think you're going to be showing us an extract from this play, aren't you?
That's right.
Oh, God, here we go.
I play a young first year who's having some troubles at school.
Her character doesn't actually have a name, yeah, because in a way she's like all of us.
It's like a metaphor. Maybe she's you at home, or like, maybe she's you, Megan.
Maths is really important. Yeah, thanks, Steve. Put it in, Coach. Yes, thanks, Steve.
Right, well, I'm going to have a little chat with your teacher while you run off and get ready. I can't wait to see it. That's it, that way. So, Jeff, when did you first hear about the grant?
2 days ago. A letter from Advance arrived at the school. Now, the headmaster thought it was all a prank, but his secretary retrieved it from his bin and brought it to me.
How? How did you react?
I also threw it in the bin. But then, Harriet and Trey rescued it, and they rang the number at the bottom of the page, and next thing you know, we're on tour.
Wow. Well, I think we can all guess which way you'll be voting from now on.
Do you know what? It's funny, because Angela and I don't usually vote. We're not very political. I'm a mathematician, of course, and she's a paraplegic, mainly. But we did used to watch that Peter Clements DIY show back in the day, and so we thought, why not? Let's have a go with this whole democracy thing.
Okay.
And here we bally well are.
Good stuff.
Fucking brilliant!
So, let's have a look at a short section of Hey, Friendship.
Dear Diary, I'm not sure I can take another day at this school. Another day of tears. Another day of fears. But still I walk the corridors alone. Dreading what might be around every corner.
What's around the corner? What's around the corner? What's around the corner?
Oh, hi Gary.
Oh, heavens no! It's Gary the Fist!
Gary the Fist!
Going somewhere, little first year?
Great! I've been looking for some poor victim to bully all morning. But will this make me feel better about my violent father?
Excuse me, I'm late for maths. It's my favourite subject. It's so important.
Maths is for losers. What? Maths is for losers.
My arm's stuck, Coach.
Just keep going, for fuck's sake.
Right, maths is for losers. Now, give me your lunch money.
Double lunch for me today, but why am I only truly happy when I'm eating?
Not today, Gary the Fist.
What do you mean not today? Who are you? My arm's free, Coach.
Brilliant, keep going.
Right, who are you to stand up to me? I'm Gary the Fist. And you're just a sad little girl with 2 gay dads who's all alone.
That's where you're wrong, Gary the Fist. These are my 2 new friends. Vanessa is captain of the netball team. Yeah. And Blake owns a motorbike.
Yeah.
But I can't fight all 3 of you. And I don't have any friends of my own.
Oh, here we go.
Take a look at me. Take a little look at my face. I could be you. She could be you. And you could be me.
Or you could be me.
Life can be cheeky if you work as a team.
least I'm Gary the Fist. People think that folks like me probably shouldn't exist, but that's just prejudice, and I'd do better if you knew the way that I became Gary the Fist. I grew up on a council estate. The park was hip, but the flats weren't great. My dad used to come home drunk and late, and he'd hit my mum, and for dinner he had to wait. Where's my dinner, woman?
It's not ready.
Where's my dinner, woman? Don't make me ask you again.
Hitting women is wrong.
I guess life's pretty hard on a council estate. 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 It's so damn hard on a council estate.
Life can be peachy keen.
Yeah, yeah.
If you work as a team.
Just work as a team.
It's your choice to be me.
It's my choice.
So stop now, make a different choice.
Listen to that inner voice.
Friendship!
Woo! That was great.
Well, thankfully that's all we have time for tonight on the National Nightly News. Join us tomorrow night for all the headlines from across the country. My name's Jeremy Dalton. Have a peaceful night.
And we're out.
Nice. Good job.
What the literal fuck was that?
I believe that was art.
I believe I've got a 14-inch cock, but it doesn't make it so.
I have a similar belief about an adequate paycheck.
Oh, someone please
my
get these
God.
twats out of my studio.
All right. Did pretty good. We've made it to worrying debt.
Let's take a look at what's in store tonight on Channel 1. Kicking off our evening schedule is a retrospective of the best moments from Peter Clement's Just the Job, reminding us just how
Yeah, I think I did okay. The good stuff out there.
But what does the Wealth Act mean for us?
Nothing, Jeremy. We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
A confident dismissal there.
Mm-hmm.
Carry on the way we are.
This guy is going to cause problems, especially that his commercial went live. I want to look at the oh, okay. Back rushes. Let's look at confirm. What is this? Broadcasts. Wait, this isn't working? Do I have to look at the whole thing for it to... That's weird. I don't know what's going on with the archive there. I just wanted to see what they were saying, you know? Day 15. A late night. You get to the theater slightly early, and Sam's already there waiting, dressed to the nines. You smile widely as you join hands and take your seats in the private box. You certainly could get used to this. The tickets arrive on your doormat on Monday with a typed thank you from Chris. You'll get your passport back soon enough, apparently. The show isn't to your usual taste. A pretentious opera in a language you know for a fact that Chris doesn't speak either. Still, the complimentary drinks sure go down smooth. When the show finally ends, how many bows do these people need? You stand in line to get your coats, and Sam has you in creases with a hilarious impression of the conductor, arms flailing wildly. The couple in front of you are talking about the relocation of people who couldn't pay their new tax bills. It sounds awful. Sam smiles gratefully at you as you both think of Chris, safe and sound. When you get home, you're still laughing at Sam as Sam heads upstairs to shower before bed. You notice your 14-year-old son isn't home, and there's a note on the kitchen table in his almost illegible scrawl. It says he's at a friend's house. It's a school night, so you go over there and march him home. You trust Charlie, he'll be home soon. No, it's a school night. By the time you reach the friend's house, your temper is boiling over. On seeing you, Charlie loses it and tells you, in no uncertain terms, where you can shove your ride home. You end up in a full-blown argument in front of his friend and their parents. It's mortifying. You make your excuses and quickly escort him to the car. It starts to rain as you drive, both of you silently fuming. The sound of the downpour is the only thing that punctures the atmosphere in the car. What was that about, Charlie? He sighs a sigh of someone much older than his 14 years. I want to be the one who decides what I do, not you. It's not fair. He has to learn boundaries. You ground him. He's been bad blood tonight. Go easy on him. No, he needs boundaries. I don't care. How dare you embarrassing me like that? Not only did you disobey me, but you disrespected me in front of Ben and his parents. But enough. I've heard enough from you tonight. You're not leaving your room for a month. It's for his own good. He'll realize that someday. Yeah. Well, hopefully. That's a long time. Keep him in his room for a month. Day 42, a gentle reminder. You're leafing through the pile of accumulated posts. Each new bill pulls on your gut like a lead weight until a flash of blue makes you pause. Recognizing the teal advance logo on the envelope, you tear it open. Dear Winston residents, this is your second reminder letter regarding the Assets and Wealth Redemption Scheme. Please submit your passports to your nearest government office as soon as possible in order to register for the scheme. You cannot receive your share of the national rebate without submitting these documents. You knew there would be consequences, but that doesn't make it any easier. I don't have my passport. We work as a team, and we are rewarded as a team. Forwards together, Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement. Chris is safe, that's all that matters, you hope. Oh my God. But we're not. It wasn't very nice of Chris. Day 48, a tight Christmas. You can't help but crack a smile as you look around the table. The snow has settled on the grass outside. The kids are pulling a cracker while your elderly mother tries to keep her eyes open. You did always have a soft spot for Christmas. You're sitting at the head of the table now. Your dad's place. Across from you is Chris's empty seat, probably on a tropical beach somewhere, you think. You catch Sam's eye, who breaks into a smile, clearly thinking the same thing. Even without Chris, the food has had to be stretched a little thinner this year, but no one seems to notice. Christmas really can be a wonderful time of year. You look around the room at your family. Are you having a nice Christmas, Grandma? You stay silent, you make a toast. Are you having a nice Christmas, Grandma? Your mother smiles broadly at you, just like she used to. Yes, Pat is absolutely lovely. Sam softly corrects her. That's Alex, Cassandra. Alex. Pat's not with us anymore. Oh, yes, of course, she mutters. And immediately, she's back to the frail shadow of her former self. Sam smiles kindly and squeezes your hand under the table. You look around the room at your family. You stay silent. Your mother, in an increasingly rare moment of clarity, looks towards the empty seat before speaking. Sam, is Chris not coming? You wink as you pass Charlie a meager portion of potatoes. Sam answers gently. Chris has had to go away, Cassandra, but everything's okay thanks to Alex. Your son Charlie, looking to the empty seat, adds, I miss Chris. Frowning, your spouse puts a hand on his shoulder. Me too, sweetheart. We all do. You hope Chris will be home by next year. You look around the room at your family. You make a toast. You stand and raise your glass. Merry Christmas, everyone. I'm glad we're all here. Well, most of us. There are murmurs of cheers and much clinking of glasses. Your daughter Susie seizes the opportunity to corner you. You know how you love me? You raise a questioning eyebrow. I'm not gonna like this, am I? You joke. You know, me and my friends are planning on going traveling this year, Susie begins innocently. Well, I was hoping you'd help me with the money. You frown. You sigh and Susie's face drops immediately. You know money's tight. Tight at the moment, Suze. Especially now Grandma's staying here. You hate having to say no to the kids. Just how much are we talking about? Only a few hundred, she mumbles as she pushes a stray pea around her plate. It takes great effort for you not to spit your mulled wine across the table onto your elderly mother. I know it's a lot, darling, Sam interjects, but trains are expensive. This is a great opportunity for her, and I did already say she could go. You're right, we'll make it work somehow. Susie's grin stretches from ear to ear. You mean it? That's so great. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The mood soars as Sam puts a paper hat on your head, and Charlie takes pleasure in reading everyone's god-awful cracker jokes. The room is filled with voices and laughter. Looking around at your grinning family, your mother whispers, your father would be so pleased. You dab your eyes with your napkin. You feel very lucky. Current wealth, worrying debt. That's not good. That's not good. I need my passport. I didn't have my passport and we couldn't get our money. That's really sad. Day 72, a long weekend. Why does the zip on this damn case never close? It's your anniversary. Every year you and Sam go away for the weekend, usually camping. You're not made of money. You've been looking forward to it for ages. Finally getting some time alone together where you can forget about the noise of life. No kids, no work, just a bit of romance and some peace and quiet. The zip finally gives up the battle, and you drag the bulging suitcase down the stairs. The answering machine is blinking on the hall table. Good evening, Alex. This is Mr. Bossman. I'm calling to inform you that you will be required to work this weekend. Your heart sinks. Some information has come to light concerning the rising tensions between our nation and foreign powers. The National Nightly News team will be working around the clock to ensure we break the story first. Needless to say, I will expect your attendance tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. sharp. Have a pleasant evening, Alex. Shock turns to annoyance and then fury. What are you going to tell Sam? Sam comes downstairs brimming with excitement, kissing you. They grab their car keys from the dish and start to load your bags into the back. Yeah. You sigh heavily. You're gonna go, aren't you? The voice behind you makes you whip around. You nod simply. I get it. Your family's always been your priority, but sometimes work has to come first. You should go. Sam pulls you close and holds you tight. A wave of gratitude washes over you. You unpack in disappointed silence. Permission slip. Your son Charlie hovers at your elbow as you read. Do you find yourself striving to achieve? Are you an active member of the team? Do you like reaping the benefits of cooperation? Join the advanced go-getters today. Forward together. Forward together. This doesn't sound like the youth club he told you about. Oh, the other thing. Oh, no. Charlie grabs a flyer from you and thrusts the form into your hand. So I can walk there straight from school and Ben's sister can drop us home after. So you won't have to do anything. Fine, go ahead. Your son is thrilled. It's a heartwarming thing to see. It's heartwarming to see him so passionate about becoming an active part of the community. This can only be a good thing. We hope. A free ticket. Okay. Oh no, not Alan James. Some guys at work gave them to me. They can't go. Sam stands in front of you brandishing 2 tickets. You see the title in bold letters. Alan James is right in front of you. I'm really unsure. What do you think? Shall we go? He's a nut job. I'm sorry, you say, but I can't sit through any more of his crap. Sam bursts into a fit of laughter. Thank God, I was worried you were going to say yes. You decide to stay in and eat pizza. Alan James isn't worth your time. Yeah. Profitable partnership. After a particularly long day at work, you come home to find the post sorted into piles, as Sam has taken to doing recently. Most of it is the usual rubbish, but a letter with the increasingly familiar Advance logo and urgent respond immediately plastered on the front in a correspondingly urgent red font grabs your attention. Best get it over with. Dear Winston residents, this letter is to inform you that the Advance government has taken another step forwards in our fight for equality. By nationalizing the largest private corporations and redistributing their resources among the citizens of this great country, the Partnership Bonds program ensures that wealth created by the people is delivered to the people. You don't remember this being in the manifesto? Every household will become a partner in one of 3 carefully selected institutions. Oof. Chosen by Advance for consistent high performance and financial security. Opinion and cannot be guaranteed. Please select one of the following. Eye of the Beholder, Incorporated. Whether it's cosmetics, clothing, or couture, we see the beauty in all of our customers. Neil's Deals Limited, it's always a steal from Crazy Neil. Or Pleasure Corp, our business is your pleasure, from sport to travel or just some You time. Can't say pleasure without leisure. Thank you for making your selection. Please return the form using the envelope provided. You'll receive a report from your partnerships in 3 to 6 working months. Seems even advance can't defeat the quagmire of governmental bureaucracy. Yep. The future of this nation is in partnership. Forward together. Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement. Just how much influence could you have? Current wealth, selling a kidney. Current wealth, broke ass poor. I've been poor from the start. Is there a way to become rich in this game? The Tempest.
Good evening, Alex. It's Bozeman here, your boss. While you're powering up and getting the adverts loaded, I thought I should just tell you that we've had one of those public information films from the government, and it's mandatory that you play it. You still have a free choice for the other 2, so read those tape labels carefully, but make sure you play the advance advert, preferably at the second break. Right, that's the lot. Have a great show. Total pimp. My God, that weather is nasty.
Oh, how's it going with Steve?
Why are all men such pricks?
That well, eh?
Apparently he has a complicated relationship with his faith.
No.
Sorry, are you saying he chose his imaginary friend in the sky over you?
I don't know why I talked to you.
It probably is a really awful date.
10 seconds, everybody. Like I said, all of you.
Did your personality actually slip out?
Correct. Going in 5.
Oh God, here we go. I was almost not ready for that one.
I'm Jeremy Dawson.
And I'm Megan Wolf. Our main stories tonight.
Uncooperative. A mysterious symbol has appeared overnight on thousands of buildings throughout the capital.
Tonight, in an exclusive live interview with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, I'll be asking what this mysterious symbol might mean.
After 3 months of record-breaking approval ratings, could this be the daring first move of a silent resistance movement? And what would that mean as we go into the future?
We shall overcome. Trapped in Dante's taint for more than a month now, doctors Ingrid Svorsborg Horgensvoord and David Wong announced today that they're considering 2 possible options.
With 2 of the finest minds in science working together, hopes are still high for the eventual return of the team to dry land.
While both options are still on the table, support seems to be growing for a daring escape attempt. If a group of fungus experts can't fix the most advanced craft ever conceived by man, then who can?
I do feel like I get less
as the last
time
Mr. Snugglehugs is found and
so much
destroyed.
stuff
We
happening.
ask, how could we have been so blind?
Fortunately, this station wisely chose not to advertise Mr. Snugglehugs, and the subsequent disappointing sales turned out to be a miracle, as only 7 children were horribly injured by the lethal toy. How much worse could it have been? Thankfully, we'll never know.
Julia Salisbury, who mobilised numerous government resources to recall the product immediately after the first blindings, said today that the new advance mark, which must be earned by all new products,
There's a
will be
storm
100% ironclad guarantee of safety and quality.
Table for 2. Johnny Hansleaves and Tiffany Lamour were spotted having a private moment out at lunch today.
The popular couple have certainly been on a roller coaster since they started dating late last year, and this image is sure to place them firmly back in the tabloids.
Could we be on the verge of the biggest celebrity wedding since professional wrestler Randy Grizzlenuts McFridge married his longtime tag team partner Tina Tiny Hands last year in a wrestling ring made entirely of cake?
Is this once celebrated role model about to become the bad boy of sport?
And onwards and upwards. In an attempt to put the Mr. Snugglehugs disaster behind them, Remington's Fist CEO Sophia Remington today announced a brand new product that already has the markets buzzing with interest.
This groundbreaking product came as quite a shock when it was revealed earlier today, though its critics are sceptical that the young CEO can fulfill her promises.
Described as a breakthrough far ahead of its time, the male contraceptive pill is heralding a sexual revolution. Its fans are celebrating the fact
couldn't
that
tell
men
what they
can
were.
finally take equal responsibility for contraception. But others have expressed concerns over its safety and side effects.
with that exclusive Prime Ministerial interview coming up later.
And our very own Patrick Bannon live at the first annual Sports Board final.
You won't want to miss a second of tonight's...
No.
Oops, I went a little bit fast there, I think.
But first tonight, while Advance is certainly proving popular with the majority of the country, who've seen their wealth and standards of living increase considerably, for some, the transition has not been as pleasant.
That's right, Megan. The formerly aristocratic members of our society have had to make major adjustments to come to terms with the new regime.
Robin Short is in suburbia investigating rumours that these previously privileged people may be planning some kind of protest. Robin?
Thanks, Megan. I'm here in Moderate Hatchings to talk to Wentworth and Penelope Somerset Bentley, who were relocated to the house you see behind me after Advance passed the Assets and
I think they're
Wealth
getting
Act on their
rained
first
on
day
in the
in
studio.
office. Tell me, how are you settling into your new lives?
Well, quite frankly, Robin, we're not settling in at all. Our neighbours are whitewatters.
It's simply untenable. I hope you'll forgive my language, but it's as steaming as a Wednesday hatch basket with too much spatting.
Steady now, Penelope. Sorry, Robin, my sister's under a lot of pressure. She had to dress herself this morning and she still hasn't quite recovered, Robin.
Fuddle-dee-doo! My goodness, that must have been quite a shock.
She really struggles with ribbons, Robin.
Well, at least you've been rehoused in a nice big house.
Big house? This grubby little gaddis spatch only has one staircase.
And the breakfast room and the dining room in the same bloody place. Imagine that, having all one's grub in one room. One room, Robin.
So what would you say to the people that feel that your family has had it far too easy for far too long, and that these redistributions are both fair and just?
I hardly think we've had it easy for fussle's sake. Only one of our swimming pools was even heated.
But realistically, what can you do?
Well, you've asked the right bloody question, Robin.
Thank you, Wentworth. I wasn't the youngest ever editor of the Swinstead Middle School Inquirer for no reason.
I think our toilet butler was
Nice.
from Swinstead.
Big storm up there.
George. Oh, I wonder what happened to him. I remember! Daddy tried to shoot him in the buttocks and he went off into the woods. You know, that's probably my last happy memory, Robin.
Tragic, but what can you do?
We will rise and rebel. Yes. We wage war on our revolting rulers with righteous words and rebellious writings. Our best guess in our quest for redress is to divest our breasts and our dress bear just protest.
Wow.
Yeah, oh, what's
It's hard to understand him.
Daddy! Daddy, it's Daddy!
Please
Okay,
don't do
no.
that. We can't show this on the news.
Okay, no. Okay. Sorry, but you don't need to see that.
What's this?
Sorry, but you don't need to see that.
Protest has started already.
Fine.
Nice sharp work, boy.
Thanks, Daddy.
He gets that from me, you know.
And forgive me, what are you trying to achieve here?
We just want to be footing well heard, that's all.
Language, Penelope. We are nude, not rude.
I'm sorry, Daddy.
We want the world to realise we won't roll over and run away. We will revolt. We will rise again.
Yes, we bloody well will. Stuff and pip pop.
Hey, Daddy, how could you?
Did he just shoot somebody?
Jeremy, Megan, as this embryonic protest movement takes one in the top legs, it's back here in the studio. I'm Robin Short,
Oh my God.
struggling surreptitiously in Moderate Hatchings.
Thanks, Robin. Well, that's certainly a story
Wow.
we want to be keeping an eye on, eh, Megan?
Speak for yourself there, Jeremy, but I've seen enough sharp work to last me a lifetime.
I'm sure you have. But can a naked protest movement ever really catch on? It doesn't seem like the way we do things in this country.
But as I'm sure you're aware, Jeremy, this country is becoming a very different place.
Yes, but seriously, who's going to run around naked in our weather?
Well, hopefully not you, Jeremy.
Yes, well, there wouldn't be enough canvas for the slogans.
when we come back, our very own Patrick Bannon will be live from the Sports Board Finals. Stick around, you won't want to miss it.
We'll be back.
One.
After these messages.
1 minute back.
Huh.
Sorry, I'm busting. Oh.
She's funny.
Yes, I know. I think it's very endearing.
She wants your job.
She's welcome to it. Why is it raining on my desk?
Alex, Boozman, we're getting reports in that naked protesters might try and spoil the sports board final by waving their fleshy bits about.
God, okay.
Try and make sure you don't broadcast it. It's 6 p.m. for God's sake. No one wants to see fannies on the news. Boozman out.
No one wants to see fannies on the news. It's true.
We believe your skin deserves the best, so the new formula actively removes harsh chemicals from your skin. The high salt content actually pulls the dihydrogen monoxide right from your pores to give you the crisp, brittle skin you've come to expect.
That's what it says.
Yes, I understand, but I always say welcome back.
I think we should just keep it as it is.
Well, of course you do. I've got one hack line.
What's that supposed to mean? I didn't write it, Jeremy.
That's all right, fine. Jenny, there's something wrong with the auto cue.
10 seconds.
Oh, I just felt a drip again. Have they not fixed this?
I want to see us fry. It's good for the ratings.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Coming up later, we'll be speaking to the Prime Ministers about their exciting new healthcare facilities, transition centres.
Nice to see they care.
You're absolutely right, Jeremy. But first, we're going now to our own Patrick Bannon, who's reporting live from the finals of the new game that's gripping the nation, Sports Board. Patrick?
That's right, Megan. You join me live here from the final of the first annual Sports Board Championship. It's been a hotly contested competition so far.
Not sure who you're talking to, Terrence.
These two have been dancing around each other all season. First up, we have Ellie Striker. She's the more experienced of our two players today. Striker has got an accuracy of 7, a danger rating of K, and a 12-month driving ban. Striker's known for her signature move, the lanky hamster. And facing her tonight, hoping to prove himself with a career record of 12 outs, 14 finishes, and a divorce pending, it's Mr. Wingspan himself, Tommy, the Fingernail Harris. Just waiting on the ref now. The slapping ceremony is taking part. Still going on. I know. Striker, of course, first to start as she won the trivia round earlier on by some margin. Harris, perhaps the brawn and not the brains. Stupid. Eddie Striker. Nice start there from Striker. She's determined not to let the nerves show. Not after last time.
It's going to get
On to Mr. Harris now. Tommy. Using his arm to pick up the ball. What a bad shot there from Harris. Back to Striker for shot number 3. All right. She's gone to sort of throwing it under her legs. Not bad if you ask me. Bit of business with the ref, but it got sorted out. Back to Harris now. A ball in the hand is worth 2 in the bush.
My God.
I'd say that's fair, but what do I know? Oh no, and Harris is not going to be happy with that. So really not a good start there for Tommy Harris in round 1. We can only hope that round 2 treats him a bit better. But first, of course, after the argument with the ref section, it's time to change ends.
Ooh, she's happy.
Now we have the ceremonial changing of the ends. And of course, now they go back to the starting positions, as that makes sense.
What?
Striker giving it large. Winter round 2 now with Harris. Okay, we seem to have some sort of streak on the pitch.
Oh God, here we go.
Any of that stuff. She appears to have slogans across her breasts and arms. Try and ignore all of that security. I'm sure we're going to take them out as soon as possible. Apologise if we broadcast any of that. As I said, we're going to get the situation resolved as soon as possible. They're trying to carry on play, but it's proving a bit difficult. I'm struggling to follow. Because it's quite an eyesore, and women's bodies, yeah. All right, great. Okay, so back into round 2 now, and Harris absolutely determined to close that massive gap. Eddie Striker.
I didn't think I did very well on that.
No, it's just some of the tightest play I've seen ever. Harris. And was that the defensive thumb screw? We haven't seen that since the Heats. What a brilliant move. Back to Striker. And we know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. That is, of course, the ground sound. Excellent bit of play here on both sides of the bucket. I don't know about you at home, but I'm finding the technical mastering display here absolutely blooming jaw-dropping. The ref has spotted something in Harris's neck or head. And Harris is having an absolute shocker. What a miserable start there for Tommy Harris. But he is a late bloomer, of course, we've always said that. And after all, it is a game of two halves, 4 rounds and several subgenres. But now, of course, it's time for the half-time show. Sponsored by Remington's Fist.
Okay.
Must be some music here to start the half-time show. Okay, another posh protester loose on the court here. We can only apologise for that. We'll do our best to shield you from having to look directly at it. Is running around here with his genitals on display for all to see. And ruining what was shaping up to be quite the dance, to be fair. Now he's thrusting himself in Harris's face, security's on it, and the bucket...
Oh, God.
I cannot stand it when the bucket gets knocked over. Hopefully he'll get taken out now. Genitals
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Really, if you ask me, not Sunday morning television. And out of there, hopefully taken away, never to be seen again.
Nice.
And a lovely finish there on both sides of the bucket. I wouldn't like to call that one. And as we head into round 3, I'd love to know what's going on in these two players' heads. But unfortunately, because of science, we can't. Not bad. So that ball boy's giving me the eye all day. I don't know what's going on there. Striker there, not a great start. She looks a bit flustered, I think, after all that swinging around. Back to Harris here. God, what I wouldn't give to be that ball. I'm all right, ladies. Tommy Harris. And it dribbled down his arm, which is actually a really good move, because, of course, if it dribbles down his arm and goes on the floor, it's not going in the bucket. Back to striker. And striker's gone for the animal bonus there, but of course, perhaps... And yes, Harris has counted with a tiny bell. That is wonderful play. Of course, we've seen that before. Look at her face. She is absolutely gutted. What a mug. That could have been the clincher. What a massive shame. Harris to serve now. Harris, of course, undefeated by Kestrel in his last 4 battles. Here we go. Tommy Harris. That's all right. Not bad there. He threw it quite far away from him, which is quite a good idea. Very clever there. Perhaps a little contact. Caution from the referee, who's being, if you ask me, a little bit harsh. Ellie Striker. And she's let the nerves get to her. What the hell was that? You hate to see it, don't you? You cannot believe it. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, like, I mean, this is a mess now. I don't know what I can be doing about this. I mean, there's sort of breasts and genitals for all to see. I mean, there's only so much you can do. They're sort of everywhere, aren't they? All right, I'll try and carry on. The players are trying to carry on, but of course it's difficult because these protesters, hopefully we can get them taken off soon so we can carry on with the match. What's going on here? Yes, yes.
We want our money.
Yes, very good. Take them away. Bloody wasters. Absolute wasters. Oh, jog on! It's an absolute bloody... Okay, and now we're going to go into the final round. And of course, as it's a Tuesday, the final round is a mime round. Who could believe it? Nice imaginary shot there from Harris. It really could go anywhere at this point. Really high-level play here from 2 absolute juggernauts of the sport. The bucket getting moved back to its proper place. About time, if you ask me.
Imaginary
she's
ball.
juggling it around from her hand. So interesting. And she's put it in her mouth like as if it was an egg. And now she's and she spat it out. She did the egg spit. So a wonderful move there, quite late on from striker. But she's in it to win it. On it like a car bonnet. Tommy Harris here, having a bit of beef. And he's peeling it as if it were a banana, which is an interesting move. Not sure if he hasn't had his potassium or what's going on today with Harris. And he's throwing it, and the banana was the ball! What a fantastic move there from Harris. Unfortunately, that is the end. What a pathetic, there we go, Jeremy, that is over. How can he look his 80-year-old son in the face tonight? What a lump. We just have to wait for the referee now to announce it to make sure it is all official. In, please.
Yeah.
And the winner of the first annual Sports Board Championship is everyone!
Once again, a win for everyone, including me as my 15th win in the Sports Board Championship. I'm going to be celebrating tonight with my wife and children. Another wonderful victory for me. Here come the on-site security to collect their medals. They're 6th and 7th respectively. And thanks again for watching the Sports Board Championships. What more is there to say? I'm Patrick Bannon. Looking forward to celebrating tonight. And all I always have to say, Jeremy, is back to you in the studio.
Patrick Bannon there had an extraordinary final.
Historic Sports Board, Jeremy.
I didn't know you were a fan.
Yeah, I can wrench a doubler with the best of them, I'll have you know.
I certainly wouldn't bet against you.
When we come back, I'll be talking live with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, who apparently have a big announcement you wouldn't want to miss.
That's coming up after these messages.
1 minute back.
Fucking microphone shot me.
What?
Oh my
Fucking
God, I
microphone
almost
just
didn't.
shot me. Where's that sound guy?
Everything okay?
Oh, the mics are just trying to kill us now, apparently.
You'll be fine. You're unshockable.
I'm immune to your cheap flattery.
I'm wearing you down.
Bozeman again. Just heard from the chaps in maintenance. The storm is playing havoc with the electrics, and you might notice the odd spark. Nothing to worry about. Happens all the time. Dave got shocked into a coma last year, but he was up and at 'em the next day. Anyway, our compensation package is parallel to none. Good luck. Bozeman out.
Sorry about all these buckets. We seem to have sprung a leak. Well, several, actually.
You're going to need a whole new lining up there. Triple signature, wouldn't you?
We'll look into it.
That's good to see you again.
Miss Wolfe, your star seems to be in the ascendant.
It's a great time to be alive.
Too bloody right, Peter Clement.
Megan Wolfe.
My, but that's a firm handshake you've got there.
She's tougher than she looks. Am I here?
Here, with Mr. Clement on your left.
Right you are, pet. Is your seat down?
10 seconds, everybody.
No, mine's fine. Have you had a little accident?
Cheeky cow.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. I am delighted to be joined by Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement. Welcome to the National Nightly News, Prime Ministers.
Oh, please, it's just Julia and Peter.
We don't believe much in titles. It doesn't seem very advanced.
We're delighted to be here.
Well, firstly, I should ask how you feel about the graffiti that's been springing up across the capital. Should we be worried?
Oh, no, you definitely shouldn't be worried.
Well, not unless you've got a fatal paint allergy anyway.
But yes, it does seem that there are still some people we haven't been able to help.
You know, whingers mostly.
People who've yet to benefit from the many advantages of the new future.
And you know, Megan, as my old mum used to say, there are some pissants who just don't know how to be happy.
We're working hard to reach these people, find out what they're angry about and how we can help. The door to my government is always open.
Someone's dripping on me.
But we didn't come here to talk about what may yet turn out to be some alternative arts project.
Which we no doubt will have funded.
When we want to talk to the nation about something far more exciting.
Yes, your office briefed us that you have an announcement to make, but they were being surprisingly
have to
secretive
concentrate.
about it.
Let me ask you a question, Megan.
Oh, okay, it's not usually how it works, but...
What scares you? I mean, really scares you?
It's death, Pet. She's talking about death.
We're all afraid of our deaths. It's part of being human.
Sorry, are you saying that Advance have cured death?
That'll be a vote winner. Yep, that was definitely a drop there.
But while we may not have cured death, we hope we found a way to make it much less scary.
And much less painful and much less expensive. Look, which is me close-up camera,
Oh,
Pet?
sorry, yes, it's camera 4 right there.
When I was 13, my mum came and got me from school. He was to go to the hospital. My granddad, he'd collapsed that morning, so we'd all to say our goodbyes. When I went in to see him, he were all frail and pale. I was scared because I'd only seen him the week before, and he'd been fit as fiddle. And he said to me, Peter, he said, it's the right time. I don't ever want to be a burden to the people I love.
Was that the last time you saw him?
Nope, 3 days later he were back home. He lived with us for 9 miserable years after that. He had to be fed with a rubber spoon. He had a commode, so he'd just take a shit right there in the lounge while we were watching football. He wouldn't even wait till half time.
God.
That sounds...
It was awful. Awful for us. And this is the point. It were awful for him. He could see it was destroying me, man, watching him slowly fade away. And he would beg her to turn off his breathing equipment at night, but she couldn't. Or she wouldn't. It were a crime, you see. And she didn't want to lose the children, as well as her old man.
No family should have to suffer like Peter's did. And now no family will have to. The health service is today opening the first of 300 new transition
She's so
centres.
professional.
The transition centres will handle everything for your last days. The legal, financial, medical and emotional costs are all catered for and paid for by the government. So even the poorest citizen gets to pass on with dignity when they choose.
And that choice is important. This is a service only for people who choose it. For people who feel they run their course and don't want to burden themselves or their families with a slow, long, humiliating decline into an
Jesus! Man thought I could just give him the electric shock!
Are you okay?
I don't know, I think it from my asshole!
Are we still on the air, Peter?
Yes, sorry, my apologies. Oh.
Are you not worried that this new system might be open to abuse?
In what way?
Sorry, I've got sapped again. Can I get a little bit of help here, please?
That the older generation might feel somewhat...
Jesus, I'm lost your face, fucker! That one was massive! Right, no, this bastard's coming off!
That the older generation might feel somewhat coerced.
Coerced into spending their final days.
What happens when there's no
food and
safe
drinking
camera to
fine
go
wine
to?
and luxury spas and gardens.
Look, I am perfectly capable of following my grandmother with a rutting twat by
Prime Minister, please watch your language.
Oh my God.
For God's sake!
Go get yourself sorted out.
Right.
We're launching a government information film tonight. It should tell your viewers everything they need to know.
You really do move at a breathless pace. It's hard to believe you've yet to be in office a year.
Oh, Megan, we're only getting started.
And on that note, thank you both so much for being here. Jeremy.
Right, yes, that's all we have time for tonight. Thank yous go out to our guests. Congratulations to all the winners at the Sports Board Final. And we'll see you tomorrow night at the same time. My name's Jeremy Donaldson. If you can, have a peaceful night.
And we're out. Good job, everybody.
Just... I don't
Oh
suppose
my
there's any way
God.
this could be a good thing.
It's my nephew, so we transitioned the moment I stopped the leak.
I forgot to... Hi, Blue. Still going strong, I see. Oh, good. I wonder if it'll actually show me. It'll show me this one now? Or this one? I don't have to click that. I can just load
We
the
join Jeremy and the team. There's just time for a brief look at what's coming up later tonight on Channel 1. At 6:30, it's a brief history of sports board, where Patrick Bannon will be taking a look at the surprising rise of this spectacularly popular new sport. That's
sorry.
followed by a repeat of the live National Sports Board final
At 7:30 p.m. and again at 8:15 p.m., 9 p.m. and 9:45 p.m. At 10:30 it's a world premiere.
I'm Jeremy Dawson.
And I'm Megan Wolf. Our main stories tonight.
Uncooperative. A mysterious symbol has appeared overnight on thousands of buildings throughout the capital.
Tonight, in an exclusive live interview with Prime
Welcome
Ministers
back.
Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, I'll be asking what this mysterious symbol might mean.
After 3 months of record-breaking approval ratings, could this be the daring first move of a silent resistance movement? And what would that mean as we go into the future?
We shall overcome. Trapped in Dante's taint for more than a month now, doctors Ingrid Svorsborg Holdensvoord and David Wong announced today that they're considering 2 possible options.
With 2 of the finest minds in science working together, hopes are still high for the eventual return of the team to dry land.
While both options are still on the table, support seems to be growing for a daring
escape.
Who mobilised numerous governments.
Long-time tag team partner Tina Tiny.
I want to play this again with like all
Live at the first
wrong
annual
choices and stuff to see what happens. Yeah, I kind of messed that transition up a little bit.
Second of tonight's.
Whoops.
But at first tonight, while Advance is certainly proving popular with the majority of the country, who've seen their
I just want to
talk to Wentworth and
This is
Penelope
awful.
Somerset Bentley, who were relocated to the house you see behind me after Advance passed the Assets and Wealth Act on their first day in office. Tell me, how are you settling into your new lives?
Well, quite frankly, Robin, we're not settling in at all. Our neighbours are whitewatters.
It's simply untenable. I hope you'll forgive my language, but it's as steaming as a Wednesday hatch basket with too much.
Steady now, Penelope. Sorry, Robin, my sister's under a lot of pressure. She had to dress herself this morning and she still hasn't quite recovered. Robin.
Imagine having to memorize and say
My
that
goodness, that must have been
the
quite a
text that
shock.
he's saying
She really
must have been
struggles with
difficult.
ribbons, Robin.
Well, at least you've been rehoused in a nice big house.
Big house? This grubby little he has one staircase.
And the breakfast room and the dining room in the same bloody place. Imagine that. Having all one's grub in one room. One room, Robin.
So what would you say to the people that feel that your family has had it far too easy for far too long and that these redistributions are both fair and just?
I hardly think we've had it easy for one of our swimming pools was even heated.
But realistically, what can you do?
Well, you've asked the right bloody question, Robin.
Thank you, Wentworth. I wasn't the youngest ever editor of the Swinstead Middle School Inquirer for no reason.
I think our toilet butler was from Swinstead. Dear George. Oh, I wonder what happened to him.
Toilet butler.
I remember! Daddy tried to shoot him in the off into the woods.
Oh, good times.
You know, that's probably my last happy memory, Robin.
Tragic, but what can you do?
We will rise and rebel.
Yes.
We wage war on our revolting rulers with righteous words and rebellious writings. Our best guess in our quest for redress is to divest our breast in an undress purchase protest.
Yes.
Oh, what's that?
Daddy! Daddy, it's
Daddy!
something!
Oh, please don't do that. We can't show this on the news.
Christ, you tally-ho! Tilly!
Oh my god.
This is where I started losing some
Who's this?
Protest has started already. Nice sharp work, boy.
Thanks, Daddy.
He gets that from me, you know.
And forgive me, what are you trying to achieve here?
We just want to be heard, that's all.
Language, Penelope. We are nude, not rude.
I'm sorry, Daddy.
We want the world to realise we won't roll over and run away. We will revolt. We will rise again.
Yes, we bloody well will. Spaff and piff
Oh God. Got shot.
What?
Shut up and get your mum.
Well, Jeremy, Megan, as this embryonic grotesque movement takes one in the top legs, it's back to you in the
Get the
studio.
daft helmet
I'm
off
Robin
then.
Short, struggling surreptitiously in moderate hatchings.
Thanks, Robin. Well, that's certainly a story we want to be keeping an eye on, eh, Megan?
Speak for yourself there, Jeremy, but I've seen enough shaft work to last me a lifetime.
I'm sure you have. But can a naked protest movement ever really catch on? It doesn't seem like the way we do things in this country.
But as I'm sure you're aware, Jeremy, this country is becoming a very different place.
Yes, but seriously, who's going to run around naked in our weather?
Oh, hopefully not you, Jeremy.
Yes, well, there wouldn't be enough canvas for the slogans.
When we come back, our very own Patrick Bannon will be live from the Sports Board Finals. Stick around, you won't want to miss it.
We'll be back after these messages.
Nice.
Coming up later, we'll be speaking to the Prime Ministers about their exciting new healthcare facilities, transition centres.
Nice to see they care.
You're absolutely right, Jeremy. But first, we're going now to our own Patrick Bannon, who's reporting live from the finals of the new game that's gripping the nation, Sports Board. Patrick?
That's right, Megan. You join me live here from the final of the first annual Sports Board Championship. It's been a hotly contested competition so far. I think it's fair to say these two have been dancing around each other all season. First up, we have Eddie Striker. She's the more experienced of our two players today. Striker has got an accuracy of 7, a danger rating of K, and a 12-month driving ban. Striker's known for her signature move, the Lanky Hamster. And facing her tonight, hoping to prove himself with a career record of 12 outs, 14 finishes, and a divorce pending, it's Mr. Wingspan himself, Tommy, the Fingernail Harris. Just waiting on the ref now. The slapping ceremony is taking part. Still going on.
Come on, Tommy.
And Striker, of course, first to start as she won the trivia round earlier on by some margin. Harris, perhaps the brawn and not the brains. Stupid. Eddie Striker.
So I guess they were supposed to try
She's
not to
determined
get
not to let the
him.
nerves show. Not after last time. On to Mr. Harris now. Tommy. Using his arm to pick up the ball. Not a bad shot there from Harris. Back to Striker for shot number 3. All right. She's gone to sort of throwing it under her legs. Not bad if you ask me. Bit of business with the ref, but it got sorted out. Back to Harris now. A ball in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. I'd say that's fair, but what do I know? Oh no, and Harris is not going to be happy with that.
Oh, he made
so
it in.
not discarded Tommy Harris in round 1. We can only hope that round 2 treats him a bit better. But first, of course, after the argument with the ref section, it's time to change ends. Now we have the ceremonial changing of the ends. And of course, now they go back to the starting positions, as that makes sense. Striker giving it large. Winter round 2 now with Harris. Okay, we seem to have some sort of streaker on the pitch.
Oh God, here they come.
Any of that stuff.
Here they come.
She appears to have slogans across her breasts and arse. Try and ignore all of that. Security, I'm sure we're going to take them out as soon as possible. Apologise if we broadcast any of that. As I said, we're going to get the situation resolved as soon as possible. They're trying to carry on play, but it's proving a bit difficult, and I'm struggling to follow because it's quite an eyesore. And women's body.
They did okay.
Right, great. Okay, so back into round 2 now, and Harris absolutely determined to close that massive gap.
Only got one boob in there, I didn't
Eddie
realize.
Striker. No, it's just some of the tightest play I've seen ever. Harris. And was that the fetid double screw? We haven't seen that since the heats. What a brilliant move. Back to Striker. And we know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. That is, of course, the ground sound. Excellent bit of play here on both sides of the bucket.
The ref's face.
I don't know about you at home, but I'm finding the technical mastering display here absolutely blooming jaw-dropping. The ref has spotted something in Harris's neck or head. And Harris is having an absolute shocker. What a miserable start there for Tommy Harris. But he is a late bloomer, of course, I've always said that. And after all, it is a game of 2 halves, 4 rounds and several subgenres. But now, of course, it's time for the halftime show. Sponsored by Remington's Fist. Nice piece of music here to start the half-time show. Okay, another posh protester loose on the court here. We can only apologise for that. We'll do our best to shield you from having to look directly at it. Is running around here with his genitals on display for all to see. And ruining what was shaping up to be quite the dance interlude there. Now he's thrusting himself in Harris's face, security's on it. And the bucket's been knocked over! I cannot stand it when the bucket gets knocked over. Hopefully he'll get taken out now. Genitals flying around for all to see. Really, if you ask me, not Sunday morning television. And out of there, hopefully taken away, never to be seen again.
That was hard.
And a lovely finish there on both sides of the bucket. I wouldn't like to call that one. And as we head into round 3, I'd love to know what's going on in these 2 players' heads. But unfortunately, because of science, we can't.
He's got his pinky out all the time.
Not bad. So that ball boy's giving me the eye all day. I don't know what's going on there. Striker there, not a great start. She looks a bit flustered, I think, after all that swinging around. Back to Harris here. God, what I wouldn't give to be that ball. I'm all right, ladies. Tommy Harris. And it dribbled down his arm, which is actually a really good move, because, of course, if it dribbles down his arm and goes on the floor, it's not going in the bucket.
Go on, Harris.
Back to striker. And striker's gone for the animal bonus there, but, of course, perhaps... And, yes, Harris has counted with a tiny bell. That is wonderful play. Of course, we've seen that before. Look at her face. She is absolutely gutted. What a mug. That could have been the clincher. What a massive shame. Harris to serve now. Harris, of course, undefeated by Kestrel in his last 4 bouts. So, here we go. Tommy Harris. That's all right. Not bad there. He threw it quite far away from him, which is quite a good idea. Very clever there. Perhaps a little contact. Caution from the referee, who's being, if you ask me, a little bit harsh. Ellie Striker. And she's let the nerves get to her. What the hell was that? You hate to see it, don't you? You cannot believe it. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, right. This is a mess now. I don't know what I'm going to be doing about this. I mean, there's sort of breasts and genitals for all to see. I mean, there's only so much I can do. They're sort of everywhere, aren't they? All right, I'll try and carry on. The players are trying to carry on, but of course it's difficult because these protesters, hopefully we can get them taken off soon so we can carry on with the match. Oh, piss off.
Hello.
What's going on here? Yes, yes.
We want our money.
Yes, very good. Take them away. Bloody wasters. Absolute wasters.
I did okay. I didn't. Oh, God. Never mind.
Oh, jog on! It's an absolute bloody... Okay, and now we're going to go into the final round. And of course, as it's a Tuesday, the final round is a mime round. Who could believe it? Nice imaginary shot there from Harris.
It said diet skank on the sign.
Really high-level play here from 2 absolute juggernauts of the sport.
Okay.
The bucket getting moved back to its proper place. About time, if you ask me. She's juggling it around from her hands. Interesting. And she's put it in her mouth like as if it was an egg. And now she's and she spat it out. She did the egg spit. So a wonderful move there, quite late on, from Striker. But she's in it to win it. On it like a car bonnet.
On it like a car bonnet.
Tommy Harris here, having a bit of beef.
bursting with original
And he's peeling it as if it were a banana, which is an interesting
flavor.
move. Not sure if he hasn't had his potassium or what's going on today with him.
Stank. Bursting with
And he's
original
got it.
stank
And the banana
flavor.
was the ball! What a fantastic move there from Harris. Unfortunately, that is the end. What a pathetic... There we go, Jeremy. That is over. How can he look his 80-year-old son in the face tonight? What a lump. We just have to wait for the referee now to announce it to make sure it is all official.
Contestants in, please.
They did such a good job with this game.
And the winner of
I
the
mean,
first
the game that
annual
I'm playing, not the game that we just
Sports
watched.
Championship
Both, really.
is everyone!
Okay, the ref has decreed once again a win for everyone, including me as my 15th win in the Sports Board Championship. I'm going to be celebrating tonight with my wife and children. Another wonderful victory for me. Here come the on-site security to collect their medals. They're 6th and 7th respectively. And thanks again for watching the Sports Board Championships. What more is there to say?
Nice, nice, nice. Good stuff.
News, Prime Ministers.
Oh, please, it's just Julia and Pete. Good to be here.
Well, firstly, I should...
Yeehaw.
Expensive. Look, which is me.
Let's get to that point where he starts cursing and
awful for us. And this is the
throwing
point.
a fit.
By the government. So even the poorest citizen gets to pass. I am perfectly capable of. Oh, grandmother
There we
with
go.
a rusty.
I did okay.
Language.
Oh, there goes my dogs.
Go get yourself sorted out.
Right.
We're launching a government information film tonight. It should tell your viewers everything they need to know.
All right, tell you what. It's been a while. I think I'm going to save and I'm going to quit for now. But I like this game. I'm going to come back to it definitely and hear the rest of the story as we go forward. It's totally worth it. Totally worth it. But I will see you guys next time, because now I'm going to go and do some other things. Because I've been streaming forever. Thanks for hanging out for the long haul, Blue. I really appreciate having you here. Hopefully I'll get to catch your next stream too, because I like watching you. And if you guys haven't checked out Blue Dragon, you should go over there and Blue Dragon 7. You should go and check him out. He's really awesome. Alright, well, take care everybody. Bye!